YTBC, what's the deal? So I know I covered the heavyweights, but I got to touch on this fight last night. It headlined the Showtime card. Hometown kid Robert Brant versus Decarlo Perez at middleweight. Shout out to Mr. Natty Turney 1. Natty and commentator Cornbread, they were both asking me what I thought about Robert Brant's performance last night. So for Mr. Natty Turner 1 and Cornbread, he looked good, man. You know, I'm always going to pull for a hometown kid. Robert moves on to being 19-0 with 12 knockouts. Now, I'm looking on BoxRec right here, and they have him rated number 23 in the world, and they have him number 8 in the U.S. So it's good to see that he's coming up. He looked good yesterday. You know, a lot of us uploaders, we don't get a chance to really say that we've been in there with the guys we do videos about. And for those of you, I've said this countless times now that I've been in there with Robert Brant before I sparred him in 2010. So at that time, he was a high-ranking amateur. He was the best light heavyweight in the country. So when I heard that him and Perez had the same amount of amateur fights and they're around the same age, I knew Robert was going to get him out of there. Although Perez was, you know, he was very in shape for the fight. He wasn't out of shape. And he is a guy that prospect level type of guy too. But I just knew that Robert's on a higher level than him, man, because back in 2010, I wasn't hearing about Decarlo Perez, you know, and Robert was he was the best light heavyweight in the country at the time. So I knew that although their amateur experience was around the same, around 120 fights, I knew Robert was a higher level, man, higher level. This kid won the National Golden Gloves and the U.S. Nationals, and he was on the tear back then, so the PAL. So as far as the fight, Robert landed a punch that I think is his best punch because I've tasted it before. It's his right hand. Sometimes it looks like he can overextend on his combinations. When he's chasing guys down, when they're going back on their back foot and trying to fight him, he can overextend and stand straight up sometimes. Damn, he landed that right hand. I did not know he was going to knock Perez out. I thought anything, if he was to get a stoppage or it was going to be a stoppage, going to be late in the fight. I just thought, you know, because like his last fight against Luis Rose, that was a good fight. And Rose was able to do different things with Robert, and what was that, a majority decision? And Rose was able to use, you know, he was able to use his skill, and he was working. He was making Rob miss at times and making Rob keep his jab up. And, you know, he was banging with Rob a little bit, but in this fight, Decarlo trying to bang it out with him and just wasn't going to work, man. Robert's a lot stronger than he looks. I would like to see him fight Antoine Douglas. I know that fight probably won't happen, but that's a fight I would really love to see. I believe that Robert's going to be ranked in the WBC top 15, I think, for the next couple of rankings. So hopefully he is. Gabe Rosado will be a good fight. The hometown fight against Caleb Truex will be a good fight. Some of you remember Truex he knocked down Jermaine Taylor, but he lost the fight. All those fights would be good fights. I don't know. Dominic Wade would be another good fight. He's another undefeated prospect. Willie Monroe Jr., that'd be another good fight. There's some good fights here in America. Like I said, Antoine Douglas, those will all be good fights. But I think highly of Robert, always have thought highly of Robert. And I'm a big guy. I'm a heavyweight. You know, that day we got into the gym, he was definitely not afraid to spar a heavyweight. I'm way bigger than Robert, man. About 5-6 inches and, you know, shit, 50 pounds, you know, 50, 60 pounds. So he's going to have a bright future. Now, I've thought this for 6 years now, so nothing surprised me last night. Nothing surprised me. I just hope he continues to win and just, you know, sharpen some of the things that I've seen, like him overextending, probably straightening his right hand a little bit. But he knew what he was doing. He's probably arcing it for a reason. And he's working with Errol Spence's trainer. I forgot the dude's name. I want to say Derek James. I hope that's his name. But it's Errol Spence's trainer. He's working with him. Down in Texas. So, and they got him fighting out in Arizona. He's fought in Tucson and Phoenix his last 2 fights. So I want to see more Robert, man. Hopefully he'll be the one to knock off Triple G. I know you Triple G fans don't want to hear that, but if it came down to Robert and Triple G, I'm not going to lie. I will pull for Robert, man. Hometown kid. Plus the guy I've been in there with, you know. I can go around, puff my chest out in the YTBC. You know what I mean? Say I've been in there with the guy that beat Triple G. But I want to see more of Robert, man. Definitely want to see more of him. He looked good. Fast hands. We got to see how it looks when he gets clipped. Now, he's been down one time in his career. But let's see, we're gonna have to see how things look when he's getting pushed on his back foot and pressed the entire fight. But if you get hit one of those right hands, you may not want to press him in the entire fight. But I like what I've seen from Robert. Want to see more, and he's developing. You know what I mean? So, just my opinion on that fight, though. YTBC, I'm out.